Hi guys, and welcome again. I wanted to make a video today, but I didn't get a chance to do it during the day, so I figured I could do this at night. I've got a camera with a light on it, and let's see how this works. So today's video, we're going to talk about healthcare, and this is a topic that is bipartisan. A lot of people would like to see our healthcare system better, and it's a very big topic, and I think a lot of people will be interested in what I had to say in this. So basically the way it is right now is we have health insurance companies, and the problem with health insurance companies is they're very profit based, and they are not exactly doing the right thing for people. It's also very costly for people. And so you have on the left hand side, you have people saying that we need a single payer system, and you have on the right that saying that our healthcare system will diminish if we do that. And basically I agree with both sides, except for that I don't like government running anything, because anytime they run something, it's kind of like this. If you have government running healthcare, it's like having guys dig ditches. All right, you have one guy in the ditch digging and 5 guys leaning on shovels, and you're paying for all those guys. So it's a lot of waste. There actually is a better way to do this. And what you have to do is have some changes. And changes would require us not having health insurance companies anymore, but converting those companies into healthcare management companies. So basically, how it would work is if you had your healthcare management companies, and the way that you put accountability to them is you to look at 2 different things. You have the people who have the healthcare insurance or healthcare management company. Let's say you convert Blue Cross into a healthcare management company, and let's say that they're at the end of the year, after everybody's had their insurance or whatever through them, or their healthcare management through them, what they do is they do a survey, and it's required. Everybody does a survey, and you put down a rating on the quality of care, okay? And that's done by the consumer. And then at the same time, the government does a cost per capita on that. So what they do is, with an algorithm, is they go ahead and they figure out who is giving the best value. In other words, who has the best care for the lowest price. It's very simple. It's a point system. They do this in the sign business. If you offer terrible service, then your points go down and they give you less. Okay? And this is how it would work. So you see here all the Christmas houses and everything else. Pretty cool. So when it comes up for renewal, what you do is all the healthcare people, at first you start out with, you select whoever you want. Your not health insurance, your healthcare management company, you select who you want. And you go ahead and you go, hey, I want to use, let's say, I want to use Kaiser. People like Kaiser, especially out here in California. And so they select Kaiser. And so it comes up for renewal. Healthcare, they give them a poor rating, or their cost per capita is too high. They get less clients. So when you go to renew, you go ahead and try and select who you can again, and they get less of the pie. So when a company provides the best service for the lowest price, they're going to get the most business. So it creates competition. It creates a quality of care type of thing that they can get, and it eliminates the profit margin of insurance. Yeah, there's going to be some profit margin in the management. It's not going to be as much. Now here's the pushback on this. The pushback is going to be a lot of these healthcare companies are not going to want to do it. So they're going to be like, oh no, it's too profitable for what we do. And some of them are going to drop off. So I haven't really figured out that part of it. You could always put a government run organization in it, and they should have the same accountability as the others. So if you have this government company that does it, they should do it by their quality of care and their the quality of the price, and should be figured out what it costs to have them manage it. So you could have that as well, and they get the piece of the pie based on who have their quality of service. So anyway, this would put accountability to this. It would get rid of insurance. It would make things a lot cheaper. Now, there's some other things that need to be done, and we'll go over those in a minute. Anyway, share your thoughts, guys. Make sure you leave a comment, and I'd like to hear what you have to say about this. Other things that need to be looked at. So we really need to take a look at things like labs, okay? Labs charge an exorbitant amount of fees. There was a point in my life when I was younger when I was broke. I had no money. I had just enough to pay for health care for my kids, and I had nothing for myself. I had child support payments. I had all this stuff that was making my life very difficult. And so I sacrificed myself. And that's really what a parent should do, right? So anyway, I didn't have health care. And so I had to go pay cash at the doctor, and I know what it's like not to have it. And I went to pay cash at the doctor, and I said to the doctor, he goes, hey, you should get a blood test for this. We need to check you out just for your normal thing. And I go, all right, you know. So he goes, well, if you go to this big company, I guess Quest at the time was probably the one, and you get the lab test done there, it's $485. This was in the 90s. That was like, you might as well tell me $1 million. I had no money for that. And he goes, well, there's this other lab. They do exactly the same test, and go see these people over here, and it's $26. Now, you tell me, if one place can make a profit doing it for $26 and the other place needs to charge $450, we need to look at things there. Those things need to be regulated. We need to have somehow that has to be figured out what's a fair profit margin, and figure out what they should be able to make and regulate it. You know, because lab work isn't something like, you know, it's not like a drug company where they're coming with some kind of a new chemical that will save your life or whatever. It's basically testing whatever is in the vial. And so there's, to me, it's just something like that needs to be very well looked at, and that would bring some of the costs down. And again, some of the management, you know, thing could be that they, you know, negotiate that properly, and that could be their job. But I really think that we need to do something further than just the management company dealing with that. Now I'm in the dark, but there's sidewalk here, so I can go ahead and film going along here. In fact, the thing I found out that's very difficult is I really can't see where I'm walking, so it's making it kind of fun. Another major issue, and it could be done at a different date, or it could be done at a different time, a different way. You could break this up into several different ways of doing it. One is break up the health insurance companies, turn them into management companies, and show them how that they can make a profit doing that. And the other thing that would be a big deal with this is the drug companies. And you know, there's a lot of mismanagement, and you know, drug companies hold back. Like, they have entire ways to cure things, probably in drugs right now, and they're not releasing those because there's no money in it, because they've got something that works right now. They're waiting for the patent to run out on it, and once the patent runs out, then what they're going to do is they're going to renew it with this slightly better drug, and they kind of have this game all figured out as to how they can make money. And somehow, I really don't know how. Of course, you guys can comment below. I'd like to see your suggestions on that. But those are the things that we need to solve some other way. And they could be done at a different time. But if we changed our method of healthcare by doing this, it would probably start to work out a lot better for people. The Obamacare was really, or Affordable Care Act, was really something that was supposed to be a temporary fix. I'll tell you guys this, and you can believe it or not, I don't care, but I did send in a outline to Barack Obama's. So people go, oh, you're right wing. It's like, dude, you don't even know me, okay? So I did send a outline to Barack Obama and also one to John McCain in 2008. And unfortunately, the laptop I wrote it on, I still have the hard drive, but I could probably get it fixed and figure it out and show you guys actually that I did write this. I did send an outline that was very, very similar to what is in the Affordable Care Act. Now, it's not exactly the same because if it was more exactly the same, it'd be working a lot better than it is. Because some of the things that it's different on are the 50 employees. I had it listed. 50 companies with more than 50 employees should provide health care if they reach a specific profit margin. And what we do is to find out what that is, we need to go to those companies that are offering health insurance and find out what the profit margin they have is. And then when we find out what that profit margin is, then we mandate those companies. It was not intended for fast food. That was totally off the charts. For me, their profit margin is nowhere near enough to afford paying for health care. So what ended up happening is so many people actually, so many companies actually started just printing everybody part-time and got rid of full-time workers in the fast food industry and tried to keep everybody under the radar because it wasn't written properly. They didn't read enough of my email, okay? It was all in there, and most of the stuff is very much the same. The insurance companies, it was basically a stage one. It was not intended to be a fix-all for it. It was a stage one, and I wrote it up based on what was happening in my life. Is I had something called Healthy Families for my kids. They had that in California, and Healthy Families was great for my kids. It had something that I could afford, and I basically took that model and turned it into a nationalized system for everyone. And currently, the Affordable Care Act for a lot of people, and I'm not saying it is for everyone, for a lot of people is quite a bit better than what we had at the time. Back in the old days, if in order to go to the doctor, you had to lose your house in order to go to the doctor, okay? And that was not good, okay? So basically, if you had a house and you had a healthcare issue, and people would be at their job and, you know, they couldn't perform at work anymore because they were sick, and they would get let go and they lose their health insurance, and they get this giant bill, and they were stuck with it, and it wasn't working out. It was no good. Okay, we needed to change it. The Obamacare was not the real answer, but it was definitely a short step in the right direction for a lot of people. And the downside was, again, that a lot of people that were paying for it through work ended up having to pay a higher premium, and that was really unfortunate for that, you know, for that situation. And they had to pay a higher copay and all that stuff because everybody was required to have insurance. This, using the insurance companies as management companies, would definitely work. I know it would, 100%. There's no way that they could fail-safe it. The only thing that they could do that would make it not work is decide, no, we're not going to do it. You know, but if you shut down their companies and said, hey, listen, you got two choices. You got one, you become a management company. Two, you're done. Your healthcare insurance company is over. You know, maybe they would decide to sway. And it's really hard to say how that would work out. Those are the challenges of it. You guys know what they are. But those are ideas that I put around, and they actually, I know that they would work. Like I said, the Affordable Care Act, even though a lot of people don't like it, a lot of people say it's really bad. It's really, and it is. Listen, if they would have done what I said, survey the companies that are offering health insurance, with over 50 employees, okay, figure out the profit margin, algorithmically figure out how that the people that are affording to pay for it are doing it, and the ones that aren't are not. And most people, what I found out, most health insurance, most companies, they want to offer health insurance to their employees. Most of them do. There's only a smaller percentage that they just don't, and they don't because they're greedy. And there's a lot less of those, because I mean, I'm an employer, okay, and when things are going really well for me, that was my goal, is to get up to the point where I could offer my employees health insurance. I could you know, start to offer benefits. One of the guys who worked for me had teeth issues, and I said to him, yeah, you know, one of these days I really want to get something so we can help you take care of that, you know. And so those are things that I wanted to do, and I know that other employers are the same way. They're not just all greedy like some of the Democrats are painting us all out to be. Oh, you greedy rich people, you just want everything for yourself. That's not true. It's not true at all. There's a lot of people out there that do the right thing. Okay, there's only a few that don't. And if you come up with algorithm ways with using numbers to figure out who isn't doing it, there's a way to do it. But again, the law wasn't written that way. Maybe it was too complicated. I don't know, but I really think it could have been done, and they, you know, didn't do it. So those are the things that, you know, and it mandated it for everyone. It made it cost a lot more by using the other way without doing it correctly. So anyway, that's it for this, guys. Yeah, I'd like to see your comments and let me know what you guys think, and let me know if you think that this would work. And of course, if you're interested in it, send letters to the Congress, send letters to the Trump administration. I really think that Trump, if he saw what this could do, that he would be interested in it. I don't think the Democrats would really be interested in it, because there's no way that they can put their hand in the cookie jar, because that's really what they want to do. They want to put their hand in the cookie jar. They want to get some money out. They want something for them. You know, why do you think it is that politicians get into office and they're worth a couple $1 million, and when they get out, they're worth 200 million? Why do you think? Come on. Makes sense. All this in my video is my opinion, and you can take it or leave it. And anyway, I'll talk to you in the next one. Please like, share, and subscribe.